welcome back to ADD Sports for another segment. Today we're going to be talking about some of the awards from this season in the NFL, and we're excited to talk about it, getting to delve into a few of these here. Again, this is ADD Sports with Alex, Danny,
and Day.
Your best sports hosts anyone could ask for. All right, so the first award we're going to talk about is MVP. This one, I really think this is, there's two great candidates on this one, and I think in a lot of other years, I think the runner-up could have maybe won this award, honestly. The two people I have in mind are Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. I think Brady had one of his best seasons he's had in his entire career. A lot of his personnel, too, was banged up, and he just sort of found other options and really spread the ball out well, and he was incredible. His numbers were really good. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, just pretty unbelievable what this guy does. I mean, shoot, before the season, he's, in that interview talking about, how he was upset with the general manager in the organization, saying, he really didn't know if he'd be back, and he just turns it on like he always does and just, flips it into another MVP season. The GM of the Packers must be sweating right now because he's like, man, I can't let this guy go for Jordan Love. There's no way. He's one of the best. He's one of the best we've ever seen. So it's really interesting. I think I got to tip my hat to Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. I think he's just unbelievable, and I think he had a great season, and it's unfortunate that there can only be one MVP, but I have to go with Aaron Rodgers. How do you feel about this award, Alex?
How I feel about this award, Danny? I too have it with two runners, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Tom Brady, of course, all season he had people banged up. He found any target he could find to get the touchdowns. He had one of his best seasons. He almost broke Peyton Manning's yardage record for the year.
Brady, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he's had an incredible year with all the offseason drama. His first game, he had 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
and from that first game, he had those 3 interceptions. He only threw 1 interception more throughout the rest of the season. Had 37 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give the MVP to Tom Brady. And that's my pick.
Dave, what's your take on the MVP race?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be between Rodgers and Brady. If Henry didn't get hurt and kept that level of production, then I think it should have been him. But losing Derrick Henry, dropped him from the race, and comes down to it at the end of the year. All the different candidates we had at different points of the year all just seemed to fall right off. So, the only two real left you can look at is going to be Rodgers and Brady, and I just think you take out that first game where Rodgers got whacked by the Saints after all the offseason drama. From there on out, he was pretty much perfect. Only lost 2 other games, I think, because the one game they lost, he wasn't there. It's when he had COVID. And, typical Aaron Rodgers numbers. Very few interceptions, lots of touchdowns. He looked great. Brady had a good year, with all the injuries they were dealing with. It's tough, the shutout to the Saints, that 9-0 hurt him a bit. The other loss to the Saints, at least they put up some points, but, those were some ugly losses. But, I mean, yards and touchdowns, yeah, it's a passing league. They played 17 games. I expect more. I didn't expect Brady to lead in yards and touchdowns, but it's pretty impressive. But I'd say that leans a little bit more towards Rodgers. I mean, they're both looking for their 4th, which is incredible, but I'd say, just going off the regular season, Rodgers probably deserves it a little bit more than Brady on this one, but not by much.
And if I might chime in, I do have a 3rd runner-up, but I don't expect him to even come close to winning it. Justin Herbert, I mean,
if they made the playoffs, maybe.
If they made the playoffs, he could definitely be in contention for it. But if he wasn't on that team, I don't think they would even be close to what they were. he did throw for 5,000 yards. But at the end of the day,
I mean, the Saints were half a game away from the playoffs. If the Saints had Justin Herbert, I think the division standings might be a little bit different. The Bucs have been on the outside looking in, so yeah, and I think Herbert added about 8 wins to the Chargers' 9-win season.
Very true, very true. So the next award we're going to cover is the Offensive Player of the Year. Dave, who's sticking out to you on this one?
It was a 2-horse race until the last week of the season. You had Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp, and how the Colts made the playoffs, it'd be a battle. But when you get embarrassed by the Jaguars in the last week of a winning-in game, then no. Missing the playoffs kind of takes you out of contention, so I don't think there's anybody else but Cooper Kupp. We haven't seen a triple crown in a while in the league, leading receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Becoming the second 1,900-yard receiver in the league. And he just has the second highest reception total of all time. Yeah, I think it's Cooper Kupp.
Alex, how about you? Who's sticking out to you?
I mean, I feel like this award's unanimous. There's no question. It has to be Cooper Kupp. So I'm going with Cooper Kupp on this one. The Triple Crown. Only one else I can think of is Jonathan Taylor, but he did come short at the end of the year against the Jaguars. I would have liked to see Justin Jefferson win it too, but he probably could have had a little bit better of a year, even though his year was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So the next award is the Defensive Player of the Year. Alex, who do you got for this one?
I have TJ Watt winning this one. He was out for a couple games, and he still came close to breaking the sack record. Who comes up next? Every year you can always count Aaron Donald to win this award, but if you give it to him every year, I feel like that would be too boring. And I'd have to go with TJ Watt.
Very good pick there. Day, what's your take on this one?
I mean, Aaron Donald is like the LeBron James of it, where realistically, if you want to actually look at value, you could give it to him every single year. No question, he's going to bring the most value, but that gets boring, so whoever, has that great year and puts up crazy numbers in some category. TJ Watt tied the sack record. I mean, the Steelers were significantly better with him playing 100% than without him. Made an impact, although I do think overall Aaron Donald's going to be more valuable, like the name of the award, but the year TJ Watt had, he tied the sack record. It's TJ Watt's.
All right. So this was a real tough one. I don't know what you guys are going to, what your take will be, but Rookie Player of the Year. Day, who do you have for this one?
I mean, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Is there anyone but Jamar Chase that you could give that one to after what he did? I mean, the Bengals became relevant. He completely demolished the competition. Ironically, after everybody was chanting to get rid of him after the preseason when he had those drops, and they all thought he sucked. And, they only brought him in because he was Burrow's teammate. And then, well, how that turned out. I mean, yeah, Jalen Waddle broke that rookie reception record. Mac Jones played excellent for a rookie. I mean, took the Patriots right back to the playoffs like it didn't miss a beat. But didn't mean Jamar Chase's rookie season was all time, so you can't really argue with him for the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Alex, do you agree about this one?
It's hard for me to differentiate with this one. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's connection, it's pretty much unstoppable. So I'm going to pick Jamar Chase for this award. But you can also mention Mac Jones in his rookie year and Jalen Waddle with breaking the reception record. But all in all, Jamar Chase all the way.
All right. So our next award is the Comeback Player of the Year.
A defensive rookie.
All right, I forgot one. Defensive Rookie Player of the Year.
I mean, it's not a tough one there. I mean, Micah Parsons has been one of the best. He could have been argued as Defensive Player of the Year almost, but he played the best in his position by far. I mean, Micah Parsons was making plays every single week. There's not one week where you weren't mentioning him. So I think that one's set in stone. I think that one was already done by mid-season already, but definitely Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I can agree with Dan on that one. It's definitely Micah Parsons by a long shot. He definitely elevated the Cowboys defense all year, so he's well deserving of the title.
All right, so our next award is Comeback Player of the Year. Day, who do you have for this one?
I think that's going to be between Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott. Most of the year, I would have said it's Dak Prescott's award, like it's over with, but the finish the Bengals had and the way Joe Burrow came out of there, I mean, they were fighting for a playoff spot against some tough competition, and he, outduels Patrick Mahomes and, gets the Bengals right in there, in a division with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns, who are all looking a lot better. They've been in the basement for a while. He gets hurt, torn ACL, goes down. Team still doesn't have an offensive line, and he does what he did. I'd say that Burrow, edged past Dak Prescott on that one to end the year.
I can't go in another direction on this one either. I will have to go with Joe Burrow. I just like his demeanor, his swag that he brings to the team, and just his overall team and what he did to the end, beating the Raiders. He's in the playoffs now. We'll see how far you can take him.
Very good, very good. So our last award here is going to be the Coach of the Year. I do have an opinion on this one. I think there was one coach who really got a lot out of his team, and not a great team, didn't make the playoffs, but I would like to give my Coach of the Year to Flores of the Dolphins. He didn't fare so well, but I thought he really got a lot out of his team and won 7 in a row. And that's my take on it. How about you, Dave? Who are you going with on this one?
Well, this one's tough because I think Flores did have a great year. He got a lot out of them, just like Mike Tomlin with these Steelers, how he's consistently gotten a lot out of this team for a while. But, Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals, people kind of thought that was an iffy hire at first, and it's proven to be the opposite there. Belichick, who probably could have been Coach of the Year 15 times by now, but it'd be a boring pick. But what he's done in New England with a rookie quarterback, and they were starting the year 1-4 too before they went and started beating everybody. But ultimately, I think Mike Vrabel should get it for the Titans. They lost Henry, and people thought the year was over, and right back in there, kept winning games, got the number 1 seed. The team all around has just been playing excellent since he got there, and people don't really talk about it. I think Zach Thomas and the Bengals could be up there too, because that was a pretty nice 180, but overall, I think Mike Vrabel should get it.
Valid points. Alex, why don't you walk us through your diagnosis on this one?
Like you guys said, you could go with Brian Flores. He had an amazing year. He started 1-7, but he turned it around to make it 9-8, just inching out of the playoffs. You could give it to Bill Belichick with the rookie quarterback. Nobody thought they would be where they were today in their first year with Mac Jones. But ultimately, I do like the Mike Vrabel pick by day because they lost Derrick Henry in the middle of the season, and he practically won the rest of the year without him, using their 2 not so known running backs to help them along the way. But I'm going to go with Zach Taylor with the Bengals. I just like how he turned the team around before he was there. They were up and down. And I just like the Joe Burrow pick.
So those former players coaching now. It's looking good with a lot of them.
Wow. So that wraps up this segment of the awards. Just remember, you heard it here first on 80s Esports with Alex, Danny, and Day. Have a good night, folks. Or day.